Alrighty, guys, welcome. Tonight I'm just going to go over Cal Twomey's Phantom mock draft that he's dropped over the last day or two. I actually did one the Savo, I didn't realise that you guys couldn't see the screen that I was referring to, so I've rejigged the layout a little bit for tonight. Hopefully you can see what I'm referring to. If you haven't seen it, this is Cal Twomey's article. I do not own it. I'm not claiming to own it. If you want to check it out, you can find it on afl.com.au. It's on the front page. Cal's obviously afl.com.au's premier journo. He's the best in the business. He knows all the ins and outs of this stuff. And, he's like a North Star effectively for this kind of stuff. If he says it's going to happen, it's more than likely going to happen. Just always refer back to what Cal said. Okay. So, to anyone new, this is the mock draft app I've put together. You'll see how it goes throughout the night. We'll play out what Cal's predicting. We'll bake in the trades, the pick swaps, the movement, everything. And when we get past that pick 30 that Cal's got up to, we're going to try and use his intel and guess the rest. Okay. Hey, chat, how are we? Shannon, how you going? John, how are we? Everyone's getting excited for the draft. It's like Christmas, isn't it? Find out what toys you get. Suns will do a future second pick tip. Yep, I'll bake them in now. Let's get them populated. Okay, so as you can see here, I've put in a little pass button. That's a new addition tonight as well. I'm going to play along as the draft progresses tomorrow. Tune in. Come say hi. Let's get to these trades. All right. Now, Carlton are going to start off by trading back picks 9 and 11. Okay. So 9 is going to Essendon for 21, 27, and 30. I believe that to be the whole trade. So let's execute that. And then we've got pick 11's going to North. Where are we? North is going to 25 and a future second. And they might get a 43 back. Was that it? No, sorry, yeah. 46 back, sorry. Is that right, guys? Can you remind me what the trade was? I'll just bring it up, sorry. Give us a sec. Anyone got it? Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, so I think that's what we're doing, 25 and the future second. Let's do it. All right. Now, what the other one we've got is, you can see here, he's actually written it down for Gold Coast. I hope you guys can see the screen. He's got a little bit of club intel for each team. We'll run it down to Gold Coast. Okay, and he's written here, they're trading pick 35 to the Giants for a future second. Okay, so let's play that out as well. Picks 35 is going to Gold Coast for a future second. I would predict that to be the Suns. Let's trade that out. Execute trade. They will keep Melbourne's. And then we'll go, the other two are going to Adelaide. Adelaide are going to trade 48 and Port are trading 49. And they're for future thirds. Okay. I just want to confirm that trade. Has anyone written that down yet? Hey, mate, West Coast should be placing a bid on Patterson at 1 and Zeke at 2. That makes it harder, absolutely. How are we all going, guys? I just can't find the actual source. I remember reading about it. I hope I got it right, just from memory. Let's have a look. So I'll do the Port one. I haven't done the Port one yet. Sorry. So 49, that gives them an extra 86 points. That's what they're all after. 4299, is that what we're saying? Okay, let's have a look. And that'll be for that future third. There you go, there's your 4299 milkshakes. So we got that. Swaps 54 and 46. Is that what I did? I might have stuffed that up. Let's have a look. I didn't trade one on the way back, did I? Well, ignore that. I forgot you guys can see that one, that monitor. That's all good. Okay, so I think we're good. Whitman, what was it, mate? Can you just update me? I've gone 21, 27. I think there was one on the way back from memory. If someone's got it. North trade 25, future 2, and 46 for 11 and 54. Okay, let's reboot it. Sorry, guys. Won't take long. We'll get there. Carlton. Oh, it's a North one. Okay, my bad. So that's one I forgot. Okay, 25, future second, and then 46 and 54 swap. Hey, Evan, how are you, mate? Not a problem, man. Thank you very much for the support. Okay, so that's the trade there. 25, future second, 46. Boom. And then we go to Essendon for 9, and that's the 3 in the 20s and 30s. Did Essendon get one back with that one? Why are Essendon being annoying and bidding on Dean? Well, worst case scenario is they're going to end up with the best key defender in the game, in the class. So, well, hopefully the game, but yeah, in the class. So, you know, it's not going to be catastrophic if they end up with Dean. That'll be a big upgrade on who they've got at the moment. Okay, I think I've got it. I think this is what we're doing. Okay, and then Adelaide. Let's bring in the Gold Coast picks. It was GWS for their second. And then Adelaide and Port are the 48s, 49s. Oh, undoing that. Phew, that was lucky. 48 for the third. And Port get a future third for 49. Okay, now we've got our board. All right, let's go back to Cal's mock. We'll play it out and we'll start guessing the rest, all right? Have a bit of fun. Hey, Justin, how are you, mate? FB19. Oh, I stuffed it again. God. 9 and 43. I have. Oh, third time lucky. Third time's a charm, guys. I needed someone to have that. I was hoping that'd be in the chat when I was doing it. Okay, 9. And Essendon, 21, 27, 30, 9 and 43. Thank you. That's a bit more realistic, isn't it? And then we go to the North. Now we're rolling. Come on. 52 and 46 and 54 swap. Okay, there we go. All right, so those are our trades. 11, 54, 25 and 46 and the future second. We got that. Have we done the Gold Coast trades in this one? No, we haven't. Sorry, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. $48 for the future third. 49 for a future third. And 35 for a future second. Probably around the 36 mark, more likely Gold Coast. That makes more sense. Okay, they keep Melbourne second. All right, let's play it out. Okay, so how are we all going? All right, so yeah, play it out. Dersma. Dersma go on pick 1. I think everyone's known that one for quite a while. Same with the Zeke Uland bid. For those who haven't seen the app, we play it out like this. These are the bids, the points that they're going to have to burn in order to match their cost. Their cost to match Zeke Uland is a little bit cheaper than the rest of the clubs. The pick 2 is allocated 2,481 points. They get the discount. It's 10% discount for the first round. They burn the most valuable picks as we go. They overpay a little bit, 197, and then you get your compensation pick placed further on down the track based on how many points you overpay. In this instance, it's going to be 43 before the transaction goes through. Once the transaction goes through, remember you're burning 3 picks, so you move up 2 places. So it'll end up about pick 41. But when it gets placed, it's pick 43. Okay? And we're going to do that for the rest of them, okay? So, what do we got here? Milkshakes, who's it? Whitman, Shannon, how are we all? Okay, so Carlton is going to match a Harry Dean bid, pick 3. It's the same deal, next gen and father son. Okay, let's play that one out. Carlton have traded picks 9 and 11. They've got now back end picks, but they've still got enough points to match it. They only need to match 1960. Their first 3 valuable picks end up tallying 2,000 points. They get about 40 points left. And again, it's going to be jammed in at about pick 53. You'll see here between the Bulldogs and North pick, way at the back. Where are we? What did I say? I've lost it. Where is he? Below Western Bulldogs and above North Melbourne at around 53. So right there, between those two there, that's where your points in. That's 40 points. It's kind of low, just below 42 points. Okay, so that's where their Carlton compo pick ends up. We place it. We go through. Harry Dean's now a Carlton blue. And we go through it, all right? This is CH9. This is Cal's, man. We're going to play out Cal's mock. He's the best in the business. So this is the best thing we've got at the minute as to someone who's somewhat accurate. So we'll just go what he's got, and then we're going to look at whatever picks everyone's got left over and go through some of his club intel and see if we can guess, the rest of the draft hand that everyone's looking at. Okay? I'll just try and get through these 30 picks for you guys as quickly as you can, or we'll play it just so you can see what's happening and who he's picked. He's gone Cooper Duff Tyler at pick 4. So everyone's pretty happy that the Eagles and CDT are going 1 and 4. Well, 1 and 2, but yeah, 1 and 4. There's been a few trades already agreed upon. Then they're going to go Dylan Patterson. Remember, Gold Coast have now stacked their hand. You can see they've got a bundle of picks at the back and plenty of picks up the front, which are going to tally up the points for them. Let's play that out. So here it is here, 24, 25, and 31 is going to Dylan Patterson. We move through it. I think Richmond are going to do another bid on Annabelle, so they're just going to keep everyone honest. I like the way Cal's gone with this. Same again, matching bids. And all the while, all these compo picks are getting jammed at the back, remember? And now we start taking the players that they're after. Now, on Gettable, they were saying that Richmond have already visited Sam Cumming. I think they did mention that they had visited Xavier Taylor as well. So I did take note of that. But Sam Cumming is now likely to go to Richmond. Best South Australian prospect to some. I prefer Sharp for the Eagles myself, but that's all right. Sullivan Roby, the next one. Eagles are going to bid on the Suns players. Yeah, that's what we've got here, man. We've got Zeke Hewlin getting bid by the Eagles and a Carlton player, and then they leave the other bids to Richmond. They kind of just share the load a bit. Eagles can make everyone pay premium price, but, whether they want to tick off 3 different teams by doing so is another matter. They want Adensole, Eagles. Well, that's who he's mocked. So we'll have a look at that in a sec. So we're up to pick 9 here. He's gone Xavier Taylor to the Essendon Bombers. Remember, the Bombers have got that extra pick from Carlton. This is now pushed down to pick 13. That's that Carlton pick. That was once upon a time pick 9. 4 teams have jumped the queue. Gold Coast twice, Brizzy and Carlton. Okay, next pick that he's tipping is Dyson Sharp. Hey, John, welcome, mate. How are you, man? Dyson Sharp, Essendon. We'll keep rattling through it. Farrow, WA's best prospect. I want him to get to the Eagles, but, you can't have what you want all the time. Damn it. So we've lost Sharp and we've lost Farrow as Eagles. That's no good. Yep, sad to see him go. Cameron Nan is the next player for Melbourne. We'll play him out. Love how Eagles bid on 2 Gold Coast mids in the teens. Yeah, it's good. You can't just give them all that good stuff. Make them pay. You know, if they're getting quality talent, they've already got a stacked team as it is, and they brought in Petrarca. Half these kids aren't ever going to get a look in. But yeah, they just got an embarrassment of riches. The Suns, they're going to be top 4 for quite a while, I think. I think we can all get used to that, seeing them win games now. Lockie Doverston to the Bombers. Sam Grill was once upon a time thinking he was going to Richmond, but they're starting to look at Cumming more, so he's the one that slipped a bit here. Sam Grill at 14. Speedster. Next pick, Latrell Pickett. Cozzy Pickett's cousin, I believe. He's got a wide range of outcomes, I believe, but this is where Cal's gone, so I'm happy with that. That's fine. Actually, I'll show you another little feature I've thrown in there off Cal's intel. I've linked all the teams that he knows that who's spoken to him effectively and who've got some added interest. So as you can see with Pickett, linked to Melbourne, North and Richmond. I filled these out for the players outside the 30 that he selected. Patterson is bidded on by Richmond's first pick. Yeah, man, that's what we've put that one in. So you can see CDT went to the Eagles' second pick, and then that was Richmond's first bid. You got the summary there. First club bidding is Richmond, just there. So we've got that in there. We'll play it out. So where we're up to, we've got Pickett at pick 15. Let's get him a North. There he goes. He's in a North jumper. So Cal, GWS, they're what's the word? Unpredictable. So good chance that this could start going awry at this point. But here he's got him bidding on Sydney's player, Harry Kyle. Hopefully you guys can see that there. So defender, midfielder. I've got a comparison to Dane Rampy. Countable defender who scores late. And Sydney have enough points to match. Again, it's the same deal again. They're going to overpay, so they're going to get a compo pick. So what's that? 25 and 26 turns into 16 and about 36. Will be about 35. Okay, Harry Kyle, he's now a Sydney Swan. And then they're going to take their own player that they'll end up with in Oscar Taylor. Sorry, mate, listen to some chat. Wonder if West Coast could trade up to 10 to take Sharp. You need Sharp to fall that far. You probably could. If you could maybe start thinking about giving Essendon some 27 players. I think they've got Darren Buick's kid on the way in a couple of years. So they might want to start loading up for that draft. I think that's when the Tassie draft comes in too. So it's going to be harder to accumulate points. That could be an option that they could look at. Whether the Buick kid ends up any good and top end of the draft, it's two years away. How are you going to tell? But it's just something to maybe consider. All right. So we got Oscar Taylor going to the Giants. Now this is West Coast next pick. It started off in the draft at pick 13. It's now pick 18. Let's get that one. Where are we? So Jai Murray's the next one. He's a Gold Coast player. Remember, they've got a gazillion picks again. Only the picks in the first 3 rounds are the ones that accrue points in the points index. This is the points index here on this side of each pick that you can see. So it's first 3 rounds, 18, 36, 54. First 3 rounds, you get points. After the 4th round onwards, they're not worth any points, and you can just match with whatever. So we'll go Murray, Gold Coast. He's going to get matched. It's another academy match. So they've got 3 of their academy players in. They've got 5 that are worth a shot in this draft. But this is where they finally opt not to, and I'll show you why. I can try that, Evan. Yeah, for sure, man. I'll see if I can do that for you. I haven't looked at that. I'm sure I can. So this is the instance where Gold Coast picks start to fall short of what they can afford. So as you can see here, pick 19 on the points index is worth 796 points. here. This is the pick here, 796. Gold Coast, even with a gazillion picks, like I told you, everything after 54 doesn't give you any points. So it's just 41, 42, 45, and 50 only give them 700. Okay, so they're going to fall short by 12 points. What that means is effectively their first pick next year, whatever it lands, it will have that points index, and then you'll just take that 12 points away from it. As it sits now, I can show you their first pick next year is, I think it's Melbourne's second rounder. They don't have their own first rounder. That went to Melbourne in the Petrarca deal. Where are we? Gold Coast. Next year. Yeah, so they've only got a second rounder from Melbourne and a fourth rounder of their own for next year. So that second rounder would go into deficit 12 points. In this instance, they don't want to go into deficit. They're going to have to just accept the fact they can't afford him, and he goes to the West Coast. So we do not match, goes to West Coast. Okay, pick 19, Bo Adensole, West Coast player. Yeah, it's a good suggestion, Evan. I'll look into that for sure, mate. Next pick, Cal's gone, is Josh Lindsay. He's been a top 10 player for most of the year, to my knowledge. So this is a great get for the Doggies at pick 20. They could do with some help in the back half. Obviously, their midfield's stacked and their forward line's stacked. If there was an area of concern for the Doggies, you'd think it'd be in their back line. And he's a pretty handy kick and got some good leadership qualities as well, I believe. Next pick that Cal's gone is Mitch Marsh. So I thought Schubert would go before Marsh. A lot of the scouts online and stuff seem to have Schubert as the better forward, and they're both South Australians. But we'll go Marsh. He's obviously got the intel. He's got the inside word, so we'll play it out. Next one's Jack Ison. This is the Carlton's second academy bid, and this guy is the whole reason Carlton are making those trades to trade back. They want to make sure that they can match the bid in his expected range. So in Cal's mock, Geelong are going to bid on him. It's not a Carlton pick. I don't know, the colours are probably close, but this is Geelong, and they're going to bid on Jack Ison, keep Carlton honest. In this instance, they've got 26 and 38. So Carlton at this point have got 956. They could have matched a bid as high as pick 15 for Jack Ison. So they're pretty happy. He slipped a bit. That's fine. They're going to match him whenever it comes. We matched the bid to Carlton. Pick 22, Jack Ison. This is the reason West Coast should be bidding at 1. Yeah, exactly. But you run the list. They might just surprise you and say, no, we're not going to match him. But obviously all these, the clubs, they work out list space and all that type of stuff. So that comes into it. The next pick on Cal's on his mock is Threadgold, key defender out of Sturt. We'll get him. On his next pick, Freo are on the clock, and they're going to try get another WA prospect. Unfortunately for them, he's linked to West Coast. That's Tyler Williams. So that's him there. Small forward out of Swan Districts. West Coast have got enough. They have to pay 537 points to match the Williams bid at pick. 24. They got heaps. Again, they've got 901, so they can match the Tyler Williams bid as high as pick 17. As long as that Tyler Williams bid comes in after pick 17, he's going to be a West Coast Eagle. Okay, and then they try their luck with Essendon's player. Now, this is where Cal's mock goes a bit skew-if a little bit. This is where they're going to end up with 189 points in deficit. So it's effectively the equivalent of a pick 42, which is what's that early third rounder. That's how much they're going to get docked next year. We look at their draft hand next year. Where are we? Essendon's first rounder. They've got their own first rounder. So let's say it's a top 5 pick and they're going to get dropped 189 points. You can see if they finish dead last, assuming that they use the same points index, it's 189 points is not even going to drop them a position, but as it gets further down, it might start affecting them. What's the difference between 4 and 5? That's 167. So, if they ended up pick 4, they would get knocked back to pick 5 and so on, okay? So let's go Suede, and we're going into deficit. That's Essendon. I don't know if you can see that there. Cal's just Essendon have decided to put him in deficit. So as you say, like this is where West Coast can probably start looking at getting some points off them or giving them points. West Coast have matched their bid and they've got 352 to spare. You may as well give them to someone that needs them. So even straight after the Tyler Williams, they could probably manufacture a trade and just give him, 35 and 54 sort of thing. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. West Coast have already taken, I think, 4 players, and they're projected to do 5. It's not an annual mock draft. I don't know what that means. No, I've heard this in 5 minutes on the website. The whole point of this video, man, is we're gonna do picks 30 to 57. All right. We're gonna get there, but I just want to show you that I've populated it properly as well. So Schubert is going to Freo. We're nearly there, all right, mate? Heatherton is going to Hawthorn. And then we got Barker going to the Roos. Yeah, exactly. You got it, Whitman. You know what's going on. Exactly, mate. And then Doggy's bid on Lockie Carmichael from the Sydney Swans Academy. And you just see what points they've got left over. They matched the bid. Sydney. And then we got Lewis Emmett going to the Doggies. All right. That's right, man. You're welcome to your opinions. All good. Not a problem. Okay, so we've got Melbourne now. So Cal's given us a bit of info with Melbourne and who they're looking for. Where are we? We're halfway through, end of the second round. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that article there. So for their next pick, they're looking at if a small forward like Latrell Pickett is available, he'd be expected to be snapped up, but he's set to be gone by then. He's gone to North in this instance. The other players he's looking at, Taylor Byrne, Oscar Ainsworth, with Ty Hayes, another one they've done their work on. If Swade's still on the board, he's not. Kalani White is a father-son. He's going to go as a rookie, and they haven't nominated their next-gen academy. So it's out of this next pick from Melbourne is going to be out of Oscar Ainsworth, Taylor Byrne, or Ty Hayes. So who do you guys want to go out of that chat? Who do we think's the best match? Taylor Byrne. Let me bring him up. Taylor Byrne's been linked to Brizzy, Hawthorn, and Melbourne, so he's got a few suitors. We can go to Oscar Ainsworth. He's linked to Melbourne and Richmond. Richmond's next pick is, I think it's down the back somewhere. It's 32, so it's right after him. So if they want Ainsworth, they have to pick him in this pick. And then the third option was Hayes. I believe that's Lenny Hayes' relative. He's been linked to Geelong and Port. So the Port Adelaide picks Miles at the back, and Geelong's next one's 34. So they're all going to. This is the area that Hayes and Ainsworth are going to be snapped up effectively. That's what Cal's trying to tell us, I think. Who are we thinking? Shannon's saying Hayes. Okay, let's go Hayes. Not Lenny. There we go. Hayes. So he's Melbourne's pick. All right, Richmond. Let's have a look at Richmond's intel for their later picks. Okay, so I hope you guys can see that. All the focus on Richmond's selection at the top of the draft. They will closely shape out how the top 10 plays out. The club's nominated father-son Louis Kellaway, but given no guarantees. They're going to look at selections elsewhere and see if a Kellaway bid gets bid after that. Forward half players Oscar Ainsworth and Leon Kickett could be considered, as would Latrell Pickett. So Pickett's gone. Don't worry about him if he surprisingly got this far. While the Tigers have done their work on Max Condigianis, midfielder Jack Dalton is another who could be an option deep in the draft. So Richmond's next pick is 77. So we're looking at either Ainsworth, Kickett, or Condigianis, or Dalton. Who are we thinking? I'll clear the filters for you. Oscar Ainsworth, Kickett, Condigianis, or Dalton. These are the options Cal's given us for Richmond. Let me see what their likeness might be like. I'm not going to pretend to know all these players. I haven't watched a second of any of their footage. Condigianis linked to Sydney and Richmond. Sydney's next pick's down at 37. So they might do plays like Jake Lever. Intercepting defender who positions early and exits calmly, operates like Jake Lever with discipline. Dalton. Okay, John Garrett, we're going Dalton. I'm happy with that. He's linked to Port and Richmond. Port don't have a sniff at him. Agile small forward vision. Lockie Neal, Zach Fisher. Running weapon. Dalton killed the combine. Oh, man, I'm happy with that. Let's do it. So Dalton's ended up at Richmond. Next on the clock is Collingwood. Let's see who they've put some time into. Okay, so the wait for the Pies will be on where the bid comes for Next Gen Academy, Zach McCarthy. I think Collingwood got enough points. They got plenty of points. We're in the 382 range, and they've already got 741. So they can let Zach McCarthy slip a bit at this point and start looking at another prospect that they're keen on, knowing that they'll still get McCarthy. They could potentially trade up for Dyson Sharp. NGA prospect Jai Sazina is expected to go to the Pies, but most likely as a rookie, while they've also shown interest in Ty Prindable. And of the open pool players, Riley Onley is a chance late, while Collingwood's also done work on Cody Curtin, who is shaping up to be a key defensive weapon. They're going to take Tom McGuan, maybe as a rookie. So I'm thinking the bid on Ty Prindable. They've also, who did they say they put work on? They've put work on Cody Curtin or Ty Prindable. Who are we thinking? Hey, Blue Baggers, how are you, mate? Welcome. You can test the app, mate. The app's on, if you go to my handle, sideramafl.com, it's all there for you. Their code is Sharp 2 Eagles, because I want Dyson Sharp to go to the West Coast Eagles. Capital S, number 2, as in pick 2. So, yeah, I'm thinking, what are we thinking, chat? I'm thinking one of Prindable, Onley, or Curtin. Who are we thinking for Collingwood's first pick? Any Collingwood fans out there? According to Cal's info. Milkshake, I think you're a Maggie supporter. Max King bid. All right, we can do that. Is there any all right, let's do a Max King bid to Sydney. How many points has Sydney got? 297. They're going to fall short. I take it you have an IT background. No, I don't, mate. No, I did a little bit of coding back in the day in HTML. That's about it. Pies Filippo Curtin. All right, Shannon, we're going Curtin. He's linked. I'm happy with that link. While Collingwood has done work on Cody Curtin. Where's their next pick? 36. They could probably take one later anyway. We'll go Cody. Maybe try and get Dan later in a year or two. Throw some big money at him. Whitman's thinking best available. So best available was probably Filippo. Do you want to go Filippo? I think Geelong were linked to Filippo. Yeah, here we go here. So this is Geelong here. So Filippo slipped to Geelong, and they'll definitely take him. So Cats have shown their interest in for their second pick, including South Australian Jevon Filippo, West Australian midfielder Sam Swadling, Ollie Greaves, and Noah Hibbins-Hargraves, and Riley Onley. I think Filippo is the pick here, isn't it? Dale, Jevon Filippo to St Kilda for pick 32. Where's Saints? Saints has picks 40. I don't know how you're going to bundle up 43 and 61. I think that's going to fall well short on the points. It will definitely, because 61 is not going to get him anything. 43 and 61 for the Cats pick now is 34. There's no reason for Geelong to do that. You'd have to throw in, you can't even throw in a third rounder, because that's going to be pick like 45. I don't think that really helps the Cats. So I think here, they might offer it, but I think the Cats will ignore it. Cats could take Holmes. I think Cats will probably do that maybe later. I'm thinking they just take the best available. And if they consider him a high top-end talent, top 20 potentially, you'd take Filippo, wouldn't you? Milkshake's thinking Filippo to the Pies. Let's do that. Let's keep the chat happy, all right? We'll go undo last pick, and we'll get Whitman's Holmes to the Cats, all right? That makes a bit of sense. Filippo goes to Collingwood, and then Holmes to the Cats. He's going to pair up with his brother, Maxi. There he is, Holmes. All right, this is West Coast pick. Could be Banfield. I don't think Cal's given us too much extra info on this pick 35. They're most likely to get a bid potentially late inside the top 30 or in the back half. Kobe Evans and Wes Wally. That's the best name in the draft, by the way, Wes Wally. Might get through later on as rookie options. Well, father-son prospect Charlie Banfield has been nominated, but without any guarantees of selection. Eagles have done some work on Marcus Krasnodar. That leads me to believe that they might be trading this pick. So if you're going to take CDT, why would you bother looking at other ruckmen? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe, hopefully, it's a trade for Sharp. While they also have VFL prospect Tom Blamirius on the radar. Who are we thinking, guys, for West Coast? I'm going Ollie Greaves. He still hasn't gone, and we've missed out on Sharp. So next best Sharp type player, Ollie Greaves. West Coast need clearances. We need clearances like it's going out of fashion. We could not win a clearance all year long. It was brutal to watch. I think people underestimate the loss of Elliot Yeo and the work he does with clearances. Not having him all year was just, Greaves. So I think that's a good compensation for not getting what's his name? Sharp up the top at the pointy end of the draft. Yeah, I agree, John. We need Sharp big time. We need clearances. That should be all they're focusing on. Okay, so Collingwood. Who are we thinking for Collingwood's next one? Surely they just take their guy in McCarthy, or do we think they just try and let it slip? Actually, this is a good point I can bring up here. So this is the end of the second round. So Collingwood are expected to take 3 extra players. It makes absolutely no sense for them to pick up McCarthy with this pick, because after that pick, we're into pick 37. And then in pick 37, you fall into that third band of compensation where you just match any number pick, you can match it. As long as you just got to forfeit your next pick, no matter the number. It could be number 380 and they'll still match it. So McCarthy's going to end up at Collingwood. They just won't do it at this pick. They can probably just take next best available. So say Noah Hibbins-Hargrave or Max King. Yeah, Noah Hibbins. Everyone's saying Hibbins. Yeah. So Collingwood, so this McCarthy bid can come any point and Collingwood will match it and it doesn't affect him. Filippo will go in the third there or better, I'm confident. Where has he gone? He's gone 33 in this one. Okay, Sydney. Who's the intel on Sydney? So much of the Swans' energy in the lead up to the draft will be navigating a tricky bidding situation. Harry Kyle, Lockie Carmichael, and Max King, all expected to come roughly around the same stage of the draft. So we've had Lockie Carmichael and we've had Harry Kyle. We haven't had Max King yet. Well, do they just take King here, do you reckon, guys? What are we thinking? Let me read the rest. Noah Chamberlain looks likely to be available as a rookie pick for the club as the fourth academy option. Separate to that, the Swans have also been assessing players in the open draft pool with Tasmanian halfback Avery Thomas in a shot if available, marking defender Max Kondagianis, midfielder Sam Swadling, and Sturt medium forward Noah Roberts-Thompson. Leon, kick it to West Coast. I think West Coast are out. Yeah, West Coast are done. They've picked up Ollie Greaves with their last one. Swans bid on Kellaway. Oof. Feel like coming out big winners in this draft right now. Yeah, Collingwood would have done well just by sitting there. Everyone's just slipped to them and they're just picking up the scraps. Okay, you want to go Kellaway. So Richmond are already out of the draft, but they can match it. Where's Richmond? So Richmond not expected to play, but it's not going to cost them anything. They've got pick 77 to burn, so let's just go Kellaway. It can happen. I don't know whether he's that highly thought of, but what would happen is Richmond burn 77. It doesn't affect him, and they just get their guy. Just means he won't be rookie listed. Match bid, Richmond. Same as Pies, they get King, and yeah, so Sydney are going to be at pick 38. So I'm just trying to think out of these ones. Who are we thinking? Probably Avery Thomas is probably the better. That's who they've put a bit of time into. If available, Avery Thomas, Max Kondagianis. Oh, where's Avery? Top 40. We're just in the 40s. Plays a bit like Luke Ryan. Intercept defender who reads, entries well and distributes reliably. Mirrors Luke Ryan's balance of defense and rebound. West Coast needs small forward because Liam Ryan left. Yeah, that's true. But he's saying Avery Thomas, Max Kondagianis, so what are we thinking? A halfback, a defender, a midfielder, or a forward for Sydney? They probably don't need a forward. They just picked up Turners. I'm going to go Thomas here, guys. Yeah. Brizzy. So this is the compensation pick that they got for Dan Annable. Finally worked itself out. I think we said it was, what did we say at the time? I can't remember what it was. I'm not sure if I'm hoping this updates. Yeah, the compo pick was pick 51 at the time, and now it's up to pick 40. So it moves up 11 picks over the course of everyone else matching bids and all that nonsense. So, Brizzy. The Lions will consider more academy prospects later on with Ty Prindable, Harrison Bridge and Isaac Waller, all in contention, with Prindable considered the most likely to attract a rival bid. There's also a range of prospects who have been linked with the Lions as being in their potential mix. Vic country midfielder Riley Onley is that mix, as is his country teammate Taylor Byrne. They've also put time into Frio's Toby Wan and Bob Blake Uchon Benia. Could also be considered. I'm thinking just they go their best. Ty Prindable. What are we thinking? What do you guys reckon? Max King's still sitting there, which is outrageous. Perhaps they bid on McCarthy. Yeah, McCarthy bid. Yeah, I was thinking that. He goes to Collingwood. Collingwood used pick 53. What's that? We're at pick 39 at this point. Doesn't affect Collingwood at all. They're happy to do that. So Collingwood's ended up with Filippo, Hibbins, Hargrave, and McCarthy out of that. That's a pretty good haul for where they started. Pick up my pen. Where do I have Finn Davis? I wouldn't read too much to my rankings, man. I'm not that. I don't even have him mapped out yet. So I know very little about him. Fred to the Dockers. Yep, best remaining WA prospect. That makes sense. We just want to get to Brizzy. Who are we thinking? Brizzy, I'm thinking Ty Prindable. Ty Prindable, the most likely to match a bid. How many picks have they got? They got a gazillion, so they can match all three. They're only going to take two. They may as well take Prindable at this point. Where is he? That's the next question. I'm going to have to find him. Matt LeRae still sitting there. All right, Brizzy get their academy play. I don't rate Jack Ison. Finn Davis is better than him. I'll have to take your word for it. I think Carlton fans are pretty keen on Ison, though. Cal's got him in the top 24. Ludovic available still at the Carlton pick. So who are we thinking for Freo? Fred, clear, old Freddie boy. Just want to check the intel, what he's got. Dockers are going to be using 2 picks in the national draft. Local speedster Leon Kickett has attracted. Probably Kickett makes a bit of sense for him, as has Eastern Rangers midfielder Josiah Landy, who has a hard edge. The Dockers have nominated Sean McManus' son, Ollie, but will first call on matching a bid on Toby One and Ryder Luca. They're also going to bring in Mason Cox. What are you thinking? Kick it? I can kick it. What do you guys reckon? Or Rodriguez? We can go Rodriguez. Cats will take Greaves or Hibbins at 34. I'll go through every team's pick at the end of this one for you, and you can see who everyone ended up with. I'm just trying to marry it into his the intel that he's given us. So here we go. Carlton's next pick. Someone had a good suggestion. Who's it? Ludovic. Ludovic available still at Carlton's pick. A king bid. I could see a king bid coming in. He was supposed to go way earlier than this. Sydney match. Yep, that makes sense. Sorry, guys, I've been missing it. I think a few people have probably typed it in. I've probably just been rambling crap. Geelong are going to take Latrell Pickett or Leon Kickett. Pickett's long gone. Kickett's still going to be available. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to work out. So the Blues are likely to use their third pick out the back, with the club interested in VFL prospect Tobin Murray, a small forward, while Calder Cannon's defender Hamish Bird has also been on the radar. This is Carlton's last pick. It is. Let's go with Tobin Murray. Would be a consideration, while the Blues have also looked at Victorian ball getter Felix Kneep, possibly as a rookie option. All right. So he's thinking, I hope I've got Tobin in here. I've got no idea. Let's have a look. There you go. Tobin Murray. Plays like Hipwood as to place Charlie Kerner for sure. That'll be the thinking there. Gold Coast. Who are we thinking for Gold Coast? Odshawn Brenner is still available. I think they've got rid of all their academy players, haven't they? Let's have a look. Kobe Coulson's still sitting there. That makes sense. Carlton take Ludovic. Carlton went Tobin Murray. Do you want to take Ludovic over? Carlton bid on Will Darcy first. Yeah, Will Darcy could probably go around this range. Let's say Gold Coast bid on Will Darcy. As a Cats fan, I don't know how we've only lost 2 spots. We lost Duncan and Cam Guthrie. Stevens and Forbes are both going from the senior list to rookie, so we should be taking 4 instead of 2. It's probably because you got teams are going to leave 1 spot or 2 spots for play-on players, just in case someone comes from the woodwork a month or 2 before the season starts. So you want to give yourself that flexibility. You might get an injury. during pre-season. There's also that type of thing that they're going to look out for. Who are we thinking here for Gold Coast, guys? So I bring up the Gold Coast. Okay. Getting all 5 of them has been the aim for Gold Coast if possible. So they've missed out on Adensol. He went to the Eagles. But effectively, they're going to want Coulson. So let's bid on him. At this point, your points don't matter anymore. So we'll go Coulson. There he is. And Gold Coast again. Who are we thinking for Gold Coast? I need an extra name. They've got no one. Probably Ludovic. He's slipped a long, long way. Probably the best available of the main names. Still Matt Leray still available as well, guys. Roberts Thompson, Rory Wright, Ryan Ash, Sam Swadling, Taylor Byrne, Tom Burton, Archie Edwards, Cody Curtin, Harrison Bridge, Jack Lawrence, Riley Onley. I think I might have Onley in there twice. Did I? Is Onley gone? I thought he had. Blake Harris, Banfield, Gallagher, Connor McMullen, Ethan Yates. There's Kneep, Isaac Waller. Who are we thinking? El Archer. He's an Essendon player, isn't he? Essendon will probably try and match him. They've still got one player they want to bring in. Let's do it. Elachka, there he is. So Essendon get their guy at pick 45. Kickett's still sitting there. Yep, you're right. Onley. Matt's thinking Onley. I'd go Ludovic over Tobin. Yeah, it was just because Cal's got the intel. That's the only reason I've gone that. Like, he wouldn't write it for no reason. He's obviously got a phone call and someone's informed him. Onley. Best available. He's been linked to Brizzy, Collingwood, and Gold Coast and Geelong. John's thinking Leray. I think Leray. John thinks Leray. Yeah, let's go Leray. Okay, Saints are up. Who are the Saints thinking? Pretty boring draft for these guys. Kai Fincher. Zane Puka. I've got to update my Kai Fincher. For some reason, it's put him as a Geelong father-son. But let's go Kai Fincher. I think Fincher makes sense. St Kilda in 2027-28 draft, they have some father-sons. Rewalt sons, Dal Santos and Lenny Hayes. If they're half as good as their dads, it'd be pretty dangerous. Ross Lyon's got to be one of the only coaches on earth that could have failed those 3 winning a premiership, doesn't he? He could have just phoned it in. They would have won a premiership. Could have done it from Perth. I'm thinking Kai Fincher. Yep. They're going to get their guy at pick 47. Pretty happy with that. Riley Onley's due. So Brizzy have got their last pick. We're going to start seeing some passes start coming through here, guys. We've got how many players left in the pool? According to Cal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players left. Onley. A lot of people saying Onley here. Let's go back. We'll bring it back. We'll go Onley. Undo last pick. Fincher. Where's Onley? Sorry, guys. Oh, we're going to have to go to the... Okay. Onley's there. Brizzy. Who are Brizzy filling out their list with? They had an extra couple of academy players from memory. We got Prindable. They've got Annabelle. Who else in the mix? And his country teammate, small forward. While the Lions have done their work on Toby Wan, Blake Udshawn Benia could also be considered. The Lions will also elevate Ryan Lester and Connor McKenna. I'm thinking Blake. Chris Judd's son's got to be close. I think he's an Eagles fan. Oscar Judd, which is good. Don't worry about Carlton. Come to the West Coast. We were the ones that made your dad a star, you know. Don't worry about Carlton. And Gold Coast. One more pick for Gold Coast. Brizzy. Yep, Brizzy have gone Bob. Surely a bid for Doggies are up next, but I'm thinking Gold Coast just try to screw Doggies, force their hand. Makes sense because we'll go Darcy here. So the Darcy boys are Gold Coast, and you think Gold Coast are just going to pass. Ludowick's still sitting there. Surely they'd take Ludowick, wouldn't they? Puka hasn't gone. Nah. Ludowick's still there. Puka's still there. That WA boy, Sam Swadling's still there. Taylor Byrne. Whoops, excuse me. That one popped out. Harrison Bridge, another one of Brizzy's academy. North take Ludowick. North are not up. They're about 2 picks away. Fisher. I'm thinking... No, he hasn't got any intel for us. Fincher. Oh, we'll go Fincher. Kai Fincher. Geelong's guy. Have Geelong got enough? Geelong are done. There we go. Fincher's in. Carlton have passed. They're not picking. And someone had a pick for North. North taken Ludowick at pick 52. They take that every day of the week. Ed Sheeran's a massive St Kilda supporter. Don't know if that's going to help him too much. We'll go... How many bids can a club make per pick? Don't think there's a limit. It's your pick, so you can just take who you want. There's no limit at all. It's just a matter of you getting the player that you deserve when it's your turn. North are loving life. Who we got on the clock? Crows, sorry. I don't think he had any late intel, did he? Liam Heatherton and Floyd Burmeister. Matt Leray. So I think Heatherton's gone, but I think Burmeister is going to be around still. So we'll get him to pick 53. And then we've got a ton of passes. Archie Ludowick could be the best forward in the draft if you didn't get. So they're looking at Floyd Burmeister will clear the filters. Collingwood's last pick. Onley's gone. They've also put work into Cody Curtin. I think Cody Curtin's still there, isn't he? Didn't we take Curtin? Have I got a double up maybe? I just want to double check. Maybe I didn't. Maybe there is no Curtin. Yeah, Curtin slipped heaps. Yep, okay. Cody Curtin to the Maggies. Maggies will be pretty happy with that. Very good hand for them. Hawks, Taylor Byrne. They're linked to small forward Taylor Byrne, midfielder Sam Swadling, and ball getter Ollie Greaves. The clubs also looked at Jack Lawrence, a small forward from Dandenong Stingrays, but it could be for a train-on spot if they hold over position. I'm thinking, has Taylor Byrne gone? Don't think he has. No. So he's had a bit of interest from 3 different teams as well, Taylor Byrne. Okay, we'll go him. Then we got a heap of passes again. Saints. Someone had a pick for Saints for me. Where are we looking? I saw it. Crows take Mukunda, Ludowick, Curtin, Finn Davis or Puka. I haven't got Finn Davis in the pool. I might have to, let me write that down. Finn Davis. Finn Davis. Add. Okay. Fred Rodriguez is gone, I think, man. Who was the other one? Puka. Puka's still in the class. Yep. So Saints get him. And then we got Melbourne. I think this is the last pick of the draft, or second last pick. Oscar Ainsworth. Did Ainsworth go? Surely. Oscar Ainsworth. Just want to double check. I haven't got a double up in the pool. Sorry, guys. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we'll go Ainsworth. We've got a ton of picks, ton of passes. Last pick of the draft. Who's a Mr. Irrelevant? Kick it to GWS. I like it. Take kick it. Mukunda gets drafted 100%. We can go Mukunda. Half forward pressure, place like Stengel. Do we want kick it or Mukunda? This dude's been, he's been linked to quite a few teams as well. Who's his intel? His intel saying Rory Wright. They also have interest in rebounder, Rory Wright, who could be available late or as a rookie. Let's go Rory Wright, I'm thinking. Laray's gone. Nah. End of draft. There we go, guys. So we've tried to flesh out the rest of Cal's mock, and we've used his intel from what he knows. He's obviously getting the phone calls. So there might be something to it. Obviously, we're not going to get 100%, but it's the best info we've got. So may as well use it, So Adelaide ended up with Mitch Marsh and Floyd Burmeister. That's their two picks. Brizzy have ended up with Dan Annable, Prindable, Tyann Prindable, and Bob. Blake Odshawn Benner, and a lot of passes down the bottom here. Carlton have ended up with Harry Dean, Jack Ison, and Tobin Murray. Collingwood have ended up with Filippo, Hibbins Hargraves, McCarthy, and Curtin. They'd be pumped with that haul. Kickett's such a great last name. It is. It is good. Not as good a name as Wes Wadley, though. Easily the best name in the draft. Essendon ended up with Xavier Taylor, Dyson Sharp. Damn it, he should be going to the Eagles. Lockie Doverston, Adam Swade, and Hussein El Achka. Freo ended up with Aiden Schubert and Fred Rodriguez. I wonder if he's related to the other Kickett, the guy that used to always fight back in the 90s. He was a wicked player. What was his name? I want to say Leon Kickett. I think. My memory's not great. Geelong have ended up with Blake Threadgold and Hunter Holmes. Gold Coast have ended up with Zeke Hewland, Dylan Patterson, John Murray, and Kobe Coulson, Matt Leray, and Kai Fincher. Dale Kickett. That's it. Yeah, he enjoyed a punch on. He was a wicked player as well. Oscar Taylor and Rory Wright for GWS. Sam Grill, Liam Heatherton, Taylor Byrne for Hawks. Melbourne ended up with Farrow, Cam Nan, Ty Hayes, and Oscar Ainsworth. Who we got? North have ended up with Pickett, Latrell Pickett, Harley Barker, and Archie Ludowick. Port ended up with Bubkus. Richmond ended up with Sam Cumming, Sullivan Roby, Jack Dalton, and Louis Kellaway. St Kilda, Riley Onley, Zane Puka. Sydney ended up with Harry Kyle, Lockie Carmichael, Avery Thomas, and Max King. So 3 academy players for them and Avery Thomas. West Coast ended up with Dersma, CDT, Bo Adensall, Tyler Williams, and Ollie Greaves. Take that. And then Doggies ended up with Josh Lindsay, Lewis Emmett, and Will Darcy. All right, guys. Not bad. We'll take it. Heatherton, no way. That's Twomey's bias as a supporter of the side. Is he a Hawk supporter, is he? Leon kick it, North Melbourne, Dale kick it. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of Dale kick it. West Coast should be bidding. We can play it out. I don't think it'll actually let me save that. Twomey's mock but extended on Intel. On Club Intel. It's probably a bit better. There we go. Save that. Can revisit it. See how close we were. Probably miles off. Cal's a Bomber supporter. No one's perfect. He's still a pretty good journo, but we won't hold it against him. That took you 4 beers. I'm still going through my first. We bought a new fridge today, so I'm still waiting for the other ones to get cold. So this one, I'm not going down sideways, but not far off sideways. All right. So, play that out. Let's go and do these bids that you guys want to see. So you guys want to see West Coast just hammer Gold Coast, is what I'm hearing. And you can see how much it burns their value real quick. So the general thought is they're going to trade 15 and 18 ASAP, just so they're not left holding the bag when the bid comes in. Full reset. I don't know why that didn't populate. What's going on? There we go. And then Patterson. So they're already in deficit, and they're in a lot of deficit if it goes 1 and 2 for Gold Coast. So that pick 1 bid at 3,000 points chewed up pretty much all their points, and then pick 2 would belt him another 1,900. So West Coast could end up, if they really wanted Patterson, they can get him. They could that's how they'd play it. If they wanted to do Patterson and Dersma, they could just do that. Zeke Hewlin, that Gold Coast are forced to match, or just give him up, and then you go Patterson, Dersma. If you preferred Patterson over CDT, that's a way you could definitely do it. Gold Coast are already 942 points in debt, which would mean they're Melbourne second rounder. Oh no, they've already traded these. They've already. Oh no, we didn't do the trades, but they only traded picks in, so that second round is the only thing they've got. So they'll have like no picks at all for next year if they went into that much deficit. Who went in the early 30s? Sorry, had to drop. I can load it for you, man. Let's load it for you. So in the early 30s, it was what team are you referring to? FB19. Quinton, need to do it, yeah. Pick 30s. I'll go to the 30s for you. Actually, it's probably easier if I go to the results page. You can see the whole list. Hopefully, you guys can see that pretty clearly. I'll try to make it as big as I can for you. Hawks in the 30s ended up with, they didn't have a pick in the 30s. Heatherton, is that the one you're referring to? Hawks total hand in that one was Grill, Heatherton, and Byrne. Byrne went at pick 61. I can show you who went around that range where Heatherton went. So there's Heatherton there, just after Schubert. That's the one that Cal's picks. Every pick in front of pick 30 is what Cal's given us. And then we've fleshed it out from there. So we've fleshed it out off this, his intel, who he knows they've chatted to and who he knows they're somewhat keen on. But yeah, so that hopefully that just illustrates. Where are we? Do you reckon that would be? I reckon that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if they rate Patterson that highly, or would you just do Patterson, pick 1, force Gold Coast hand, I don't know why it's not doing that anyway, and then Zeke Hewlin, they can't go into 942 points deficit. Obviously, they're bringing in a few points anyway with those. We can actually trade that. Let's do that. We got to do those picks. So it's GWS is 35 for a second, and it was Adelaide's 49, 49, sorry, 48 for a third, and it was Port's 49 for a third, and then you run it out. You'd go Patterson, match bid. Hewland, they have to decide if they want to go into 285 points deficit, which is a fair old whack. Especially if their next pick, their only remaining pick is pick Melbourne's second rounder. Let's say Melbourne's second rounder is about pick, what do you reckon, 22 to 24, 621. That'll get punted down the road down to about pick 40. Their best pick next year will be pick 40. And if they got any academy players, they got no chance. But yeah, that's how it would play out. You'd hope they don't match. Goes to West Coast. Hewland and Dersma go to West Coast. They'd be pretty happy with that. We would have taken Barker, Filippo, Greaves, or Noah Hibbins-Hargraves. A bad call, unusual for him. It's 0% chance we take Heatherton unless he's a 50s pick. He must know something, I reckon. What's he written here about the pick? Heatherton has been a forgotten man for much this season after missing most of the year with a stress fracture in his back. They came after an eye-catching opening this year when he booted 11 goals in the first 3 rounds of the season for the Murray Bushrangers. Heatherton was also a graduate of the AFL Academy, has remained in the club's thoughts despite his injuries. Hawthorn has been among the clubs to show interest. Yeah, the double bid would cause carnage. That would be a great result for Eagles. Hewland and Dersma. Can't see it happening, though. Hewland's ending up at Gold Coast with his brother, no matter which way you slice it, I think. That might do me for tonight, guys. I get to bring my boy home from the hospital tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited about that. And we get to find out how this first round plays out. So it's going to be a good day. I'm going to hit the hay. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, going through it. I'm going to be doing some more streaming tomorrow. Jump on, come say hi. We'll play out whatever you think of, and we'll go from there. Have a good night, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Laters. Oh, like and subscribe if you can. Just support the channel, please. Thank you. Bye.